Can't get hurt, baby, Bama, man. Your number 2 might be better than your number 1. Your number 3 might be better than all of them. You never know.
I don't know if you had an opportunity to check up on this, but Jaden Roberts, Alabama's offensive guard, projected to be their starting right guard to start the season. He's a guy who suffered a concussion during fall camp, was injured, missed portions of fall camp. And when he went out, Geno Vandermark and Cam Dewberry kind of went into his position because he was projected to be at right guard. I think he played a little bit early on in the season, but as Alabama continued to rotate guys in, you have like a 5-star freshman, Michael Carroll, who everybody's really impressed with. He's getting rotated in. Will Sanders, a Alabama kid, he gets rotated in. And Jackson Lowell is another guy, freshman, who gets rotated in. All of a sudden, Jaden Roberts is no longer seeing playing time, and it's something that Alabama's coaching staff was asked about. Caleb DeBoer saying, "Hey, there's competition going on. There's guys who have come in and show that, hey, that they're ready to play." And he kind of has gotten lost in the shuffle a little bit. And he did not play against Vanderbilt, raising a lot of eyebrows because this is a guy who was a preseason all SEC type of kid. And now he's no longer playing. So what do you think that says about Alabama? Not really more so about him, but just kind of the current state of the roster.
Can't get hurt, baby, Bama, man. Your number 2 might be better than your number 1. Your number 3 might be better than all of them. You never know. What Forrest Gump say, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And I'm telling you like this, that's pressure. And I'm going to tell like this, every position should be like that. No, the only job that should be safe is the quarterback job because you allow him to play his game. But everybody else, your number 2 on your heels like a flip-flop. You know what I'm saying? Like he on you like some skinny jeans. And that's what it's all about. It's the competition. That's what build great programs. There's when, a dynasty, man. Like that's how we were, man. You mess a practice you want to. It's a dynasty like no other, man. That's what it used to be. Cause they used to tell us, hey man, ain't no starters this week. You better figure it out. And what I see from that, I love it because it's competition, but that doesn't take away from his ability. Now, if me as a father or a parent, if I was in that, I'm gonna tell, hey man, you stay and fight. You prove to this program that you are worthy to be on that field. And I would hate for a kid that talented to transfer, but I get it. If you don't feel like you can beat out that guy, you feel like you got to ride that pine, hey, man, this may not be the school for you. But when you come to this university, you sign that letter of intent, just know it's competition. And again, that's the standard that Bama is supposed to have. That's what we've always had. So to shy away from that, to say anything other than, hey, man, it's just business. It ain't nothing personal. Do your job. You was out. He came in. He played better. And one thing that I learned, and I speak on this all the time, everybody's replaceable, but it's up to you to be rememberable. I'm going to say that one more time. Yep. Everybody's replaceable, but you got to be that one that's rememberable. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually what I wanted to move to our next topic. Because I think we talked about this before we got on. I think you can give some insight into the fans here. I think a lot of fans don't always see it from your perspective because you work with so many athletes, and from the athlete's perspective when it comes to that portal. I was actually having a conversation with one of the guys that I work with on our recruiting side here at Touchdown Alabama. We were talking about the portal and just how sometimes it doesn't get looked at in the appropriate way from a fan perspective when you think about how the kids have to deal with it when it comes to the players. For example, say if there's a coaching change and, hey, I fit that last coaching system, but hey, this coach don't like me as much, or I don't fit his system. I'm not the type of player that he wants to recruit. So now I got to hit the transfer portal. But when he hit the transfer portal, only thing the fans see is the surface level. Oh, he quitting on the team. He's a quitter. He's not a team player. Or in other situations where it's like that. But hey, I'm not getting playing time. But hey, like I always tell recruits is that, hey, you don't got to play early, but you need to have a path to play. It need to be a point where you can see in the future, or like, hey, by my junior year, I should be the most experienced guy. There should be nobody who knows his playbook better than me. I should work hard. I should be in the best position to possibly get on the field. And you can speak to that a lot. Like talk about like how the portal should be seen from a player perspective.
Most parents, most fans, parents don't realize what all goes into it. Just even on the offensive side of the ball to have some success, me being a receiver, I got to have a decent offensive line. I got to have a decent quarterback. I got to have an offensive coordinator and a head coach to sign off on me getting the ball. You know what I'm saying? Those are a lot of pieces. Those are a lot of moving pieces on top of, man, the coach may just not like you because you look a certain way. You might look like the dude who stole his girlfriend. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It happens.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't realize what it means to be a system player. Julio, or even we'll say John Parker or Trent Bridges or Mark Ingram, great as these guys were, we all fit into certain type of systems. You know what I'm saying? If hypothetically going down the road, hindsight, I got a son. When it does come to that point, when we're having this conversation about, hey, where do we go? Hey, we go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. We go where you're going to get coached and you're going to get developed. I'm not worried about you going to the league. I'm worried about you being a better individual and learning these things to help you be a better man later on. Those are the attributes. And a lot of parents just look at money and they look at opportunity. They don't look at overall growth. And that's a lot of pressure on these kids, man. And you think about it, somebody who that guy was, who was a starter, to lose his job, man, that's going to affect his confidence level. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand. That's the same thing. I hate to shift gears, but that's what Ryan's dealing with because those expectations are so high. Man, good as Jeremy, what's the boy? Jeremy Smith? Is that Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State?
Yeah.
I've only seen him on a handful of commercials. So the only time you really see him is on Saturdays when he's in that end zone. So it's difficult because, man, it's hard when you're in that spotlight because you don't know who advice to take. Everybody's your cousin. Everybody's your best friend. Yeah. Nobody's telling you that your breath stinks. Nobody's telling you that you have a booger hanging out of your nose. Everybody is a yes man. So to answer your question, there's a lot of pressure across the board, but that transfer portal, it's a blessing and it's a curse. And it's a curse a lot more times more than it's a blessing.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what that happens in a lot of situations. And we kind of like seeing it. Unfortunately, a guy who is from the Birmingham, Alabama area, from the Huffman High School, went to Tulane, but transferred to Oregon. Mekhi Hughes kind of like dealing with that. He's a guy who dominated at the FCS level. I want to say FBS. Tulane is FBS, but they're group of 5.
Tulane legit.
Yeah, he had 2 back-to-back 1,500 rushing yards seasons. Transferred to Oregon, got buried in the depth chart. He's redshirted this whole year. So this is a guy who, like, you know how the NFL, which I tell parents who is kind of like different from our initial conversation, but I tell parents too to look at the draft. On draft night, you don't all see, you see a lot of SEC and Power 5, but it ain't all SEC and Power 5. There's a lot of group of 5 SES guys getting drafted still. So he was a guy who was in that trajectory. You have 1,500 yards in college.
You getting a call.
Yeah, you getting, yeah, you was definitely in that range of basically getting drafted early. And he's a guy who's similar to Judkins. I feel like once he transferred to Oregon benefits from that a lot more than he does because they get this great running back. But how far does your draft stock really move? Once you went to Oregon, when you could have with a Tulane and had a whole offense geared towards you because you were the star. But yeah, that's kind of like you said. It's a gift and a curse, and there's so many different ways to go with it.
I tell also, just kind of piggyback off what you just said. Like I tell a lot of parents, what's the end goal? And this is outside of Alabama, so I don't want everybody to be like, oh my God, you're not sitting. Well, look, I've sent 1 million kids to Alabama on their desk, and they passed on a lot of them. So you take that up with them. You send them some ugly letters because everybody that told me wasn't good enough is playing on Sundays now. So, but I tell all of them, what's the end goal? The end goal is to go play at the highest at the National Football League. You got to go to a system that fits you. Now, if you want to be a natty or you want to be etched down in history, man, I get it. That's one of the ones. But if you try to take care of your family, man, you better go be a big fish in a small pond. Because there's no way. All money ain't good money. And a lot of this, and what you're going to see here, and what I'm seeing now, you're seeing a lot of freshmen outshine a lot of these boys that have been sitting on that sideline for 2 years. Why? They fresh out of high school. They coming in to prove a point. They confidence on high. They ain't never been told no. They ain't had to sit behind nobody. So they coming in taking what's yours. So there you have it, folks. You got a lot. They getting that nice lump sum to sit on the check. It's to sit on the floor, and they're not gonna reap the benefits behind it.
Yep, sure. I feel like it's kind of like a story that seems to suggest that we keep repeating, but it's just kind of like the story of college football right now with the transfer portal and everything. But yeah, that will do it for this episode of the Timeout Podcast. Always joined by Mike McCoy, former Alabama wide receiver, national champion forever. As always, I am Justin Smith, the director of recruiting manager editor here at Touchdown Alabama. Thank you guys so much for joining us on our YouTube channel.
I appreciate it. See you guys soon. Peace.